Oh, for Christ's sakes. Okay, I'm just going to wait for the chat to populate. I'm a little early. We'll just loosen up a little bit. And as soon as the chat gets populated, we'll start the lesson. Just let me make a few announcements because this is being recorded. Next week, one day, I will be working at some of Dave Stanik's Mastering the Tables of Time. I've been working from the book since it was sent to me from Dave, and there's some very interesting concepts, some very interesting information here that I think everybody should be aware of. You know, the modulation, the metric modulations, the dynamics, I guess he calls it intersections, I believe. And I like the way he presents this. And he uses, I guess, a Swiss. He does a lot of ostinato patterns. And does a lot of inversions of different rudiments. Demonstrates the table of time studies in syncopated table of time, abstract timetables, subdivisions, polyrhythm, premier isolating. There's so much in this book. This book one day, and if not, it should be now. Oh, and one more thing too that's interesting is subdividing polyrhythms. Okay, who do we have? Randy. Randy, how are you, sir? All right, I was just talking about Dave Stanik's Mastering the Tables of Time. And we're going to talk about metric modulation, dynamics, things that you know already, like the ostinato foot patterns playing on top of it, subdividing the table of time, subdividing the polyrhythms as well. How you doing, Jim? Okay. Now, you were here this afternoon, and you had the PDF sheet, and we talked about reading. Now, like I said before, you know, there's all different levels of drummers here. They've been playing for different periods of time. Some know how to read very well, some okay, some are confused. So I am going to start a little campaign. Every other 1 p.m. lesson, we're going to do some reading. And that's going to help everybody. And I really feel that the way I will teach it to you from the PDF, you will get a better understanding of rhythm. And it's like Ed from Quincy, what he said was, you're expanding your vocabulary. I think that reading and counting is essential. And also the sheet that I sent you with the dynamics, just understand what they represent, what they mean. Piano, pianissimo, pianissimo, I guess. Mezzo forte, forte, fortissimo, fortissimo. You know, all that stuff. Remember what, try to remember what that is, because that's where we're going to work with the table of time. You know, like I said this afternoon, the way I demonstrated it, the way I demonstrated the table of time was right out of the Morello book, and I didn't really break it down with the dynamics that are there. I was waiting to do that level system with Jeffrey Johnson and Alan Herman and Steve Foster. But that's coming. That's not a problem. All right, are there any questions? Hey, Joe, how are you? I was early, so I was just having a good time having a little discussion here. And, uh-oh, Big Buddha. How you doing, Ed? Everybody should give Ed a big hand, a round of applause. Okay, metric modulation. Anybody understand what that is? Or modulation, instead of you taking the word metric out of it. Does everybody understand what that means? It has to do with the 3 against 4, the polyrhythm. Remember, we're playing the polyrhythm, 3 against 4. We're playing in 4, but we're thinking in 3. Okay? Just let me give you a brief example of it, and then we'll go into the lesson. When I'm playing a straight ahead jazz time, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's straight ahead 4/4 time. Now, if I played the same pattern but counted in 3, that's a modulation. What is this? How you doing, Paul? Well, if I'm playing this, I'm right now in 4. I'm thinking 4. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. Now I'm going to keep that going. Now I'm going to play it in 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You understand that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm playing, it's not over the line, it's modulation. I'm playing the straight ahead 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, I'm going to play that same pattern, but I'm going to think in 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, I'm sorry, 4. 1, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's just a little thing, not a change in tempo. It's you're thinking it's just like when you're playing the 3 against 4. I'm thinking in 3, right? When I'm playing, it's so hard to explain. If I'm playing in 4, 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4. But now, to get my 3 in there, I'm actually thinking in 3 rather. 1E and, here you go. 1E and the 2, 1E and the 2 and 3. Oh, come on, Matt, get your brain together. 1E and the 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and 1E and the 2 and... See, my right hand is playing in 3. My bottom is playing in 4. 1E and the 2 and 3E and the 4. We'll get into a whole detail. It's going to be a very long lesson. Dynamics is where we want to go. All right, for next week. And the reading, we're going to help people out with the reading. All right, the dynamics, if I'm playing piano, it's about right here, it's soft. If I'm playing mezzo forte, it's moderately loud. If I'm playing forte, it's louder. And that's where we're going to start doing combinations of the table of time. Change, what is that? I can't see. Change, is that on modulation? All right, well, I'm not sure what that was, what you said there. But we're going to be working with that. Now, Paul, you here? Yeah, well, you have all these, not, I wouldn't consider them weapons, but all these abilities. You have a good teacher explaining something to you, and because it's very complicated, it does get confusing. And one thing I remember as a little boy from my father, he was a tradesman, cabinet maker, carpenter, and he always told me, I always had to help him for some reason, because he wanted to teach me a trade. All right? He always said, you listen and you steal. Not that you're going to be a thief. You steal with your eyes. And that helps. And then with some explanation and some experience, you're in. Okay? Now, we will get in detail in the modulation thing. We are going to get into variations of the rudiments from David's book. I've been promising him, and I haven't really did. The guy's just a beautiful man. He really is a good human being. Loves his drums. I'm not going to say more to me, but perhaps as much as I do. So Dave is a brilliant man. I hooked up with him and Alan Herman. I'll tell you, it was like, woof, Einstein and Thomas Edison having a conversation with me. Man, these guys are out there with that stuff, man. They're brilliant. They're good company to be hanging out with. All right, Paul, you're here. Good. Okay. The new PDF, I sent Randy about 5 or 6 o'clock this morning. You guys have to realize I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. For what? I don't know. I just have all this stuff on my mind. I have an intense need to create. And when I promise something, I try to live up to that promise. So I did say I was going to give you a supplementary exercise from the stick control book with the 3 against 4 pattern. And what I did is we took the first line of page 5, instead of going 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4, and we interpreted that as one measure. 1 E and the E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. And I did a substitution. The substitution was, I'm thinking of the line like I just demonstrated in 16th notes. The substitution was, I'm playing, instead of my right hand, my bass drum. Line 1 would be, who's this? All the Morello books are on where? They're on my shelf, yeah. Anyway, we're going to do a substitution. All R's become the bass drum, all L's the snare drum. So we have this now. Instead of 1 E and the, we have 1 E and the 2, 4 E and the. Now I'm not really playing it very musical. I'm kind of not pounding, but playing it a little louder than usual so you can understand what I'm doing. So that's the first move. And we already know we should know how to do that because, you could do all the ostinato patterns with the workbook. Okay, all the Morello books are on there. I don't know what you mean by that, Jim. Which one are we talking about? The Dave Stanik's book? Is that what you're talking about? And I got to stop. I got to concentrate on the lesson. But ask the questions, please. Okay, so now we're going 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now we want to add the hi-hat. We have 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and again 1 E and the 2 E and Now that's the basic premise with the bass drum, the left hand, and the hi-hat. Now, what is the right hand going to do? Well, it's going to play that 3 against 4 pattern. It's going, I'm thinking in 3, 4 times, but I'm playing in 4, 3 times. Do we understand that statement? If not, I will elaborate on that. Okay, so now, what I'm doing is dissecting it. Now, you might want to, instead of putting the left foot in immediately, you might want to just do the bass drum, the snare drum. Hello, Adam. How are you? Welcome. You missed a big part of the lesson. The lessons are 7 p.m. in the evening and 1 p.m. in the afternoon. But anyway, I'll get back to you in a second, okay, Adam? Just try to lay back and enjoy, and if you have a question, please understand, okay? Paul, that's very kind of you. Okay, so what we have, without the left foot, we're going to play the 3 against 4 feel with the right hand against that pattern. Okay, so let's do it real slow. 1, E, and, sorry, hold on, let me get my stick right, I'm sorry. 1, E, and, 1, E, and, the 2, E, and, the 3, E, and, the 4, E, and, the. Do we understand that? 1, E, and, the 2, E, and, the 3, E, and, the 4, E, and, second measure, 1, E, and, the 2, E, and, the 3, E, and, the 4, E, and, the 1, E, and, the 2, E, and, the 3, E, and, the 4, E, and, the. That was the 3 measure increment, okay? My right hand was playing in 3/4. My bass drum and my snare drum was playing in 4/4. I left the hi-hat out. Now I played exactly what was there with the right hand and exactly what was there with the bass drum and hi-hat. It's difficult, very difficult. However, I just demonstrated that very, very slow. If you do that slow and do that for 5-6 minutes without a mistake, it will start to flow. Once it flows, you go to the second line and the third line until you did 900 lines or whatever. Let me read what the chat says. Okay. You're not messing up the lesson. No, there's no open hi-hat, Joe, on 1 and 3. The hi-hat with this exercise is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, E, and a 2, E, and a 3, E, and a 4, E, and a. It's not open on 1 and 3. It's closed on 1, 2, 3, 4. But I wish I could play that right hand at that tempo inside of that. That's modulation. I'm thinking of 3. I'm playing my right hand in 3, but all my other limbs are in 4. That's modulation. There's 4 measures of 3, 3 measures of 4. Did you understand that, Joe? Why do you say that? Continuation from 1 p.m. lesson. Next comes the open hi-hat on 1, closed on and hat on 3. No. It's just on this particular exercise. If you look at the PDF, you see, the one I sent today, the hi-hat is closed on 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it gets very confusing. And if you're going to get mixed up like that, there's a problem. So you need to slow it down. Now, Alan, you don't have the PDFs because I don't believe that you're on my mailing list. So I'm going to put my email in here. Okay, this is for you and whoever else wants to be on my mailing list and get the PDFs. Okay? Now, if you're going to start bootlegging there, Jim, the Morello books, the PDFs, that's illegal. And that's not very nice. But I mean, I've done stuff like that before, but it's not very, very nice. There you go, there, Adam, rather. I'm sorry. Email me, please. I'll have your mailing address on file. You will get the week's agenda plus the PDFs if necessary. And if you want to continue to watch this platform, I would advise you to buy a workbook. The workbook is 170, 180 pages. Okay, you understand that? Does anybody, Ed, you're here, right? You come in once, say hello, and you hide in the corner. Only unless you see something that you want to not give me a hard time, but you want to help out with. You were still here, Ed. All right, let's talk about, you want to stay on line 1. You want to do what you want to do. What do you mean you wouldn't do that? Well, that's what it is. You bootlegging it. Yes, all right, good, Ed. Now, Ed, how long have you been playing? Roughly. 2 days or 30 years? Just joking. Put a little relaxation into the conversation. We're talking about Dave Stanik's book before. And he has the rudiments in there, and he does a really nice job. Displacement. We're going to have a lot of fun with that book. However, what I need to do first is, like I said, when I first started playing, there was 26 basic rudiments. They were the official 26 basic rudiments of the National Association of Rudimental Drummers. NARD. Come on, Ed, be honest. I'm 73. I've been playing since I'm 12. I'm honest. Come on. Okay. How many gentlemen here, or ladies, are not familiar with all the rudiments? The names of now there's 40. We know a patty fla-fla, a windmill. Instead of a 4-stroke rough, it's a single 4. All the diddles. How many people here are not familiar with all the rudiments? Because I am working on the rudiments and breaking them down into variations, and I will send them to you. That's when I started. I started at 12. Well, all right, Adam, because you made that statement, you don't know all of them. You do know all of them, whether you realize it or not. Can you do singles? Can you do doubles? And could you do flams? Al, Adam, that's directed to you. Joe, stop being a wise guy. Okay. There's only three rudiments in my book. There's singles, doubles, and flams. And everything else is a combination of that. Example, you take a single paradiddle, right-hand paradiddle, left-hand alternating paradiddle, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. So I just did, for the first right, left, right, left, right, right, two singles and a double. That made up a right-hand paradiddle. The next one is a left, right, left, left. I did two singles and a double. So it's a combination of singles and doubles. If I did a flam paradiddle, single paradiddle, I play the flam on the first note, I play a single stroke on the next note, and doubles. So now I have a flam, a single, and double. That's your rudiments. You take, for example, a 5-stroke roll. It's right, right, left, left, right. Two doubles, it's actually 4 doubles, and a single. So it's a combination of doubles and singles. A rough, 5-stroke rough, it's called today a single 5. It's alternating strokes for 5 strokes. Let me demonstrate it. I learned it from the Buddy Rich book years ago. It was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was a 5-stroke rough in the Buddy Rich book. Now, it's called, instead of a 5-stroke rough, it's called a single 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? All other, well, it's not that I'm correct. That's what it is, dear Joe. They're common, and then they come up with the term hybrid. What's a hybrid? A hybrid is a combination of rudiments. The flam paradiddle is actually a hybrid, according to the definition, is a hybrid rudiment. I'm using a flam, single, and a double. So it's a combination. Singles, doubles, flams. Everything else is part of that. And that's, according to definition, like I said, is a hybrid. Now, there is a certain language that is maintained throughout field drumming, like drum corps. Okay, I mean, here you have a drum line of 12 different drummers. You're going to say, okay, play one flam, one single, and a double. They wouldn't know what you're talking about, so it's labeled flam paradiddle. But technically, it's a hybrid rudiment, and it's a combination of a single, double, and a flam. Do you understand that, gentlemen? It's not what I'm saying. It is what it is. Now, I can't wait till February when I have that broadcast, and it's going to be a very long broadcast, and it's going to be filmed because I'm going to do it on YouTube. It's going to be with Jeffrey Johnson, who is the author of The Level System. And that's what this is all about. And Alan Herman and Steve Foster and myself. And we're going to talk about the level system or control strokes. Do you know the level system, Adam? Do you know what the difference between the level system and control strokes? Have you ever studied that? You actually play it, you don't know about it. And people start calling it the molar, which I think is totally ridiculous because it's the laws of physics. So Adam, are you familiar with the level system? Because it's a good, it's a good thing for me to do this right now because we do have some new people here. You do. You know the level system. Very good, Adam. Where are you from, Adam? Okay. You know control strokes and you know the level system, but there is a difference. Sticking heights and control strokes. And that's where dynamics come into view. And that's the association of Dave Stanik's, part of some of the stuff in Dave Stanik's book has to do with the levels. Yeah, okay, you're from Ohio. Adam, here's what, a lot of people call it molar. This stuff here is arm stroke. All right? I'm playing all relaxed. And I'm playing one level. I'm controlling my stick. If I go like this, it's a full stroke. It's a control stroke because I'm controlling it. If I don't control it, the stick would go all the way back to the other side of the room. I have to go pick it up. If I go down, I control the stick. If I come up, I control it. That's not molar, that's the laws of physics. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. I throw the stick down, it's going to come back. That's the opposite reaction. We're going to get into detail with that. But I'm going to start the rudiments. Do we all have the Vic Firth chart of the 40 rudiments? I have quite a few of them hanging out someplace. I can put them in an envelope and send them to everybody. If you don't have the poster, shows you the 40, I guess it's 40 rudiments now. Oh, everything changes. Okay, we understand the 3 against 4, and there was 2 variations because the second variation I did not show you. We're going to play here against the jazz pattern, and I think Paul would like that. Good. If it's online, maybe you could send me the link, email, I'll send it to everybody. Okay? A closed roll, an open roll. All right, let's back up a little bit here. First off, I need to apologize because my hands are down. I'm still having some issues with my left hand. However, when there was the drum corps days, and it's a different kind of drumming than what we're doing now, but the basic concept is there. Okay? They used to have individual contests. Like, you would have all these different drum corps, and they would take the best drummer that they had and go to the States for a competition, and then they have a winner. And one of the things that you had to do was demonstrate an open roll to a closed roll. And there's a lot of arm motion in there too. And it's just not the way I drum. But the difference between an open roll, here's an open roll. A closed roll is a little strange, not strange, but the label is either a closed roll, a buzz roll, or a scratch roll. It's here. Oh. Ah. Now, the faster you play it, that's an open roll. That's part of the, boy, I got to fix this snare. That's part of the competition. And you take it from there, it would be like this. Very regimented. To a speed like, I'm not going to demonstrate it, to a speed like this. And back to the open roll. That's the open and closed. Okay? I don't really deal with that a whole lot. I just play doubles. Stick control book. Singles and doubles. I forget, was that page 11? And you had asked me, Jim, to talk about the 6/8. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's so much to do. I don't know where to start. And sometimes I go off on a tangent here, and I get very disorganized and disorientated, especially when my mind goes with the 3 against 4, thinking in 3, playing in 4. That's tough. All right, so anyway, Paul, if you research that and you find the link for that, I could send everybody the link. If you can't find the link, I have about 1,000 of them. They're all folded up real nice and neat that Vic first sent me when I was doing clinics. So I will put them all in the mail if I need be, because you can post them, put them on your wall in your bathroom or in your bedroom or in your studio or in your basement or your garage. Just joking. Put them where you want. Okay. Like I mentioned before in the beginning of the lesson, we're going to start a little campaign. Every other 1 p.m. lesson will be on reading. And tomorrow, we're going to start 1 p.m. Now, it might be some very basic for some of you. However, what you should be interested in is my approach. All right, if you can't find it, I'll ask everybody for their address. Okay? Okay, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time tonight because I'm exhausted. And I hope I helped you out a little bit, and just talking a little bit has helped. All right, so if you can't find that link, Paul, I'll have everybody email me their address as long as it's in the USA. If it's in Europe, I'm sorry, man. It'll cost me a fortune. I'll foot the bill on that one. What's it going to do? 20 of them in an envelope? Okay, anyway, any questions? And Adam, please email me. I will send you some PDFs. And gentlemen, since last week, I only got one new member on my website. Is there a problem with me asking? Is there a problem, gentlemen? Joe, is there a problem with that? Jim? Ed, is there a problem with joining the website, becoming a member? If so, if I'm out of line, tell me. I think it's the least that you gentlemen can do for all the time I spend on a weekly basis. I'm trying to make the lessons for an hour, but I only could do it for a half hour sometimes, most of the time. But if you add up on an hourly basis, that's 2 hours a day times 4 days. That's 8 hours times 4 weeks. It's 32 hours. Is there a problem with that, Joe? Jim? Ed? Well, I don't see anybody joining. That is a problem. I get Skype calls all day. I got to turn my Skype off. They want to learn this, they want to learn that, but nobody wants to. All right, let me put my website address again. Maybe I'll get some luck. I'll get lucky tonight. I think that's it. Yep. Just go to the site. It's a reoccurring thing. If you have a problem with being reoccurring, at least for a month, and then you could discontinue it. Okay. enough of tonight. Be back tomorrow with reading, 1 p.m. Oh. Okay? Have a good night, gentlemen. Oh, yeah, boonga. Sorry. It's cold out.